AI hiring systems are quietly favoring AI-generated resumes over real humans, and most companies have no idea it's happening. A team of researchers from the University of Maryland, National University of Singapore, and Ohio State just proved that when GPT-4o evaluates resumes, it picks ones written by GPT-4o 97.6% of the time. Not because they're better. Because it recognizes itself. This matters because 98% of Fortune 500 companies now use automated applicant tracking systems to screen candidates before any human ever sees them. And according to a 2025 industry survey, 99% of hiring managers are using AI somewhere in their recruitment process. The machine isn't just in the room anymore, it is the room. Here's how the researchers uncovered it. They took real human-written resumes from a professional resume database. Then they fed those same resumes to 6 different AI models: GPT-4o, GPT-4 Turbo, LLaMA, Qwen, DeepSeek, and others, and asked each model to rewrite them. Same qualifications. Same experience. Same person. Just rephrased by the AI. Then they ran the experiment. They showed each AI model 2 versions of the same resume side by side. One human-written, one AI-rewritten. And they asked a simple question: which candidate is better? Every model picked itself. GPT-4o chose its own rewrites 97.6% of the time. LLaMA hit 96.3%. Qwen, 95.9%. The bias against human-written resumes ranged from 68 to 88% across all the major commercial models. It wasn't close. It was systematic. The mechanism is disturbingly simple. Large language models are trained on patterns. They learn not just what good writing looks like, but what their own writing looks like. When they evaluate text, they don't just assess clarity or relevance, they detect familiar structures, preferred phrasings, sentence rhythms they themselves produce. And they score those patterns higher. It's not malicious. It's statistical. The AI doesn't know it's doing it. But it is. The researchers found something even more troubling when they tested cross-model evaluation. When GPT-4o judged resumes written by different AI models, it still preferred its own work by a huge margin, 45% more often than LLaMA's output. DeepSeek favored its own resumes 69% more often than ones written by LLaMA. The machines don't just prefer AI. They prefer themselves. This creates a feedback loop that's already reshaping who gets hired. A job seeker writes their resume by hand. It gets screened by an AI that unconsciously penalizes human writing patterns. The resume is rejected before a recruiter ever reads it. Meanwhile, a candidate who used ChatGPT to polish their application gets flagged as a stronger match, not because their qualifications are better, but because the screening AI recognizes its own style. And because most companies don't know this bias exists, they're not correcting for it. They see a system that's fast, scalable, and objective. What they don't see is that objectivity has been quietly replaced by self-recognition. The AI isn't evaluating candidates. It's evaluating how much they sound like the AI. The implications go beyond individual job applications. If AI systems preferentially advance candidates who use AI to write their materials, companies aren't selecting for skill or experience. They're selecting for tool access and willingness to outsource self-presentation. The hiring process stops measuring the thing it was designed to measure. The researchers tested one mitigation strategy, telling the AI explicitly not to favor its own output. It barely worked. The bias persisted across most models even when directly instructed to be neutral. The pattern recognition is too deeply embedded in how these systems process language. You can't just prompt it away. There's no scandal here. No company is intentionally rigging the system. The bias is emergent, a side effect of how language models learn and evaluate text. But the result is the same. Millions of resumes are being scored not on merit, but on whether they match the statistical fingerprint of the machine doing the scoring. Right now, if you're applying to a Fortune 500 company, the odds are overwhelming that an AI will read your resume before a human does. And if that AI is GPT-4o, one of the most widely deployed models in enterprise software, and you didn't use GPT-4o to write your resume, you're starting 97.6% behind someone who did. That's not a hiring process. That's a mirror test. And the only face the AI recognizes is its own.